So you've previously mentioned in some of the things that I've looked at that it's often tricky, and we've talked about this term executive sponsorship a lot in this interview already. But a lot of people I know have trouble getting sort of buy-in from the top, as it is. Have you got any advice for people contemplating this sort of move into innovation or starting innovation projects as to how do they get that buy-in to start something off?
Yeah. So I think that, one thing is, first of all, I report into the president of BXP, and he is deeply interested in, he's a data maven. He's in terms of just driving our data culture here, and is very passionate about just what we do is, in terms of our investments and keeping current and finding, areas of sustained efficiency, for insights, for creating new experiences, whatever the innovation is kind of bringing into the fold. So that is, so one of the things I will just say is I always have an on the radar whenever I'm having a conversation with them, like, what's on the radar, to understand that, like, hey, I'm understanding that there's conversations or there's interactions going on around these areas, that we need to keep an eye on, right? And as things kind of develop or move off or on the board or on the radar, so I'm just telling you, like, one technique is really just to kind of make sure that there's no surprises. Like, there's the one thing I love is, here at Boston Properties, is like we all tend to be on the same page, so like, and I love when sales groups, try to like bifurcate and, get into different groups and, make those inroads, and like, no, we're all on the same page here. Like, there's no surprises here on terms of, just because the conversations and the interactions occur here because of the nature of how we talk to one another. So,
But they'll always try, though. They will always try.
Yeah, and I don't fault them for it. I like, go at it. Like, so as long as you're not, the point of annoying, right?
We could almost be quite flippant about that because you're all on the same page. But that's because you've been working for so long at it. I mean, I come up against it a lot. That is, I'm seeing large firms, maybe not as large as BXP, but large firms that are really struggling to get executive buy-in because they're not on the same page. What advice would you give those people other than jump ship and go and find an executive team that has
it's just really, comes down fundamentally to communication and guiding the dialogue, internally, and having connections, with when I'm out. One of the other things, hallmarks, James, is I was, when I worked in a prior life at Beacon, Norman Leventhal was the founder of that company. He always walked the property, always walked the asset, and I have never lost that in my. When I go out to the field, I'm out, talking to the engineers, talking to the PM, understanding the dynamics of the property, our clients, our capital projects, or and all I'm saying is that there's that, and then there's this level of like doing sit downs with the managers and having
and you've got to have buy-in from both, right? They've got to believe in you as a person and as a vision, and so that term of walking.
The people aspects in an influence culture are really, really important here. So, well, I would say anywhere. So.
I think you're right, and I also believe that it's often overlooked that it's as important to go up as it is. Well, sorry, actually, it's important to go down as it is to go up. As in,
yes.
To bring back your decentralized analogy earlier on, to have that almost decentralized communication across all levels to get the buy-in, because you can then have a push and a pull impact on getting projects through. I think it's a really, really valuable advice.